Okay. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again. I think it's not. Let me just share the entire screen. Okay. So can you see this? My Visual Studio Code. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the assignment. This is going to be the assignment. Let me see. I can run it. So I've written some code. So we're going to work. I've written some code that you're going to improve on. Okay, you're going to add more things to it, but this is where you're going to start. It's like the base. Okay, so if you look at the code I've written here, it's just a normal HTML and CSS, right? But one thing I've added here, I've added this style, which is what we're going to do in next month, which is the CSS part. So you don't need to touch it. You don't need to do anything there, like this part. Okay, so the whole of that. So the reason why I added this to make the thing look a bit more interesting, like, to make it look a bit more real compared to what we've been doing. All right, so you're going to put your picture here, like in this case, I've written my name, but here you're going to put your own picture. It's just basically about building a portfolio. Okay, so I'm going to build a simple portfolio. You put your name, your title, web developer, whatever I want to put there, and then you write something about yourself. So it doesn't have to be like one line like this. Okay, so you can add more there, and then you list out your skills. Okay. All right. So here, there are two options. You can use a table. You can just use a list like this, and then maybe just add a few more things to the list. And then you have another section. This is section for the skills, and then you have another section for work experience. Okay, so where the work experience, I've given an example here under the education, right? So where in the education, you see like you have institution that you attended, which is on its own section, and then you have another institution you've attended. So if you attend more than 3 or 4, so you can keep adding, okay? But it should be in a section, okay? I've also not introduced this section, but it's also an opportunity to learn about a way of grouping HTML page. Okay, so you can see a header here, which is different from the head. Okay, this header is not head. Let's look at head here. Head is in the head. Look at head here. Okay, look at head. Okay, so and then this is the end of the head. This is a header. So I'll show you what a header is on the website. Okay, so this is a header. So this header will put here. And then we now divided it into section, which is also a HTML element. So where that we used to divide. But I will show you what all this looks like. Then you can have a section. Of course, in HTML, you can have a HTML inside HTML inside HTML. Okay, you can have children. So this is a section on itself on education, right? Education section. But inside the education section, we also have sections that describe each of the institution you attended. Okay, so I want you to do the same thing here, similar thing here. Okay, where you have work experience, and it doesn't have to be real, right? It's just something that we're just trying to create something we're learning. Okay, but if it's real, it's also okay. It's fine. No, it's not really nothing. It's your own profile, isn't it? So you do for your work, all of that. And then for contacts, okay, I'm going to remove this anyway, but because we're going to learn how to do it, I'm going to remove it. But contact, you need to put a form, or you need to put like an appointment form, or just normal contact form. Okay. All right. So that's really it. But let's see what it looks like. This is just like let's see. Okay. Where is it? It's portfolio. This one. Okay. So see what it looks like. So here you're going to have your own image, and this is the about you. Like I said, it doesn't have to be like one line like this. Then this is the skill set, and then of course the education of the work experience, not filling anything, and then you can see the education. So just follow suit like the way the education is. You can fill in the work experience. Okay. And then the contact. Okay. I've also used like put your email, whatever. Maybe you can put your LinkedIn or whatever here. Your phone number. Okay. Doesn't matter. And okay, this is nothing, but obviously this one I'm going to remove it. So yeah, but this is just an example of the contact from, so we're going to learn how to put all of that. So this is what we're going to build, I mean, for the end of HTML. Okay, so we're going to build that. I don't know what's this. We're having some extra stuff there. Let's see. Looks like there's a section there. Let's see. Important. Visualize. Okay, so that's going to be the assignment. Okay, so I'm going to provide this code, this, because this will be your starting code. Like I said, you don't need to touch here because that is what gives it the look that you're seeing there. Okay, that's what it, like you have input field. You can see how the input field looks like, what it looks like. This input field, like, it looks a little bit, more than kind of. Okay, so you can see it doesn't look like there, and it's just because of the HCSS that I've added there that I've decided to make it look this way. Okay, but of course I'm going to remove that part. I'm going to remove that part. So you have to, that's one of your tasks. You have to be able to yeah, so I believe that's what we got here. Yeah, so any questions so far for the assignments? So this is a little bit bigger assignment, and the submission is going to be on GitHub. Okay, so we're going to learn how to submit it on this website, GitHub. We're going to create profiles, and we're going to submit our code here so that we can easily, review the code. I can easily look at it here. For instance, look at some code here. Okay, you can easily look at it, and yeah, but of course we're going to learn how to do that in our next class. How to do how to work with GitHub. That means that we need to know how to work around this. Okay, so we need to learn how to work with terminal or command line. Okay, right. So we're going to learn how to do this. So this is just a way of interacting with the computer as well. So we'll also be able to put our code on GitHub. We need to be able to do this. Okay. So any question? I believe Let's guy is going to take you guys on GitHub as well for those doing Python on Sundays. I don't know whether I have done it already, but it's supposed to be, yes, but we're still going to do it anyway. So if you attend the 2 classes, it's going to be fantastic. Okay, like here now, this is just a picture I put here, all right? So in fact, I had 2 pictures. Let me just check the other one. The other one, I've commented it out. So I can just comment out. Comment this one out. So if I do that, I have this one. Okay, so I just want to just put some pictures on your picture. Yeah, some picture there. And yeah, so build something like this about yourself. Okay, we're not there yet. Like it looks a little bit, I mean, it looks better than what we've done before, but I mean, we'll still learn how to really create something that looks beautiful. Okay, so this is just for a start. You can say I'll remove that those forms, so you need to put the forms and all that. So any question before we move on?
Hello, Mike.
Yes, please.
Okay, I was trying to insert this copyright symbol, but I couldn't. So I don't know how you put it. Can you just show me?
Okay, so you are going to see it. You are going to see there when I share the code because it's part of the project. It's already there. All right.
Okay,
So
then
yeah, it's in
sorry.
the code. Yeah. Do you
Then the
understand?
second, yes, the
Okay.
second one is that
Mhm.
I saw that the assignment you gave to us is a single line spacing, but mine looks like a double line. I tried to figure it out, but I couldn't. So I don't know
A single line spacing. What am I single line spacing then?
if
Okay, let
the
me
between two lines. If you look at my work, you can
okay,
see that
let me take a look at
between
it
two lines,
again.
the
I
gap
believe
is
this
so much.
I believe this is zero. So let me get it here. Um, where are we? It's no, okay, let's do it here. Um, downloads. Okay. 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 Let me open the application. Okay. So I can open it with Visual Studio just like this. Open with Visual Studio. Okay. So what are you talking about here? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. If you go to the preview,
Okay. But that's what I already. That's what I already opened here, isn't it?
yes, if you can see, okay, for this table, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if you
Mm-hmm.
go down, yes, look at these ones. You can see what kind of work do you do, programming, design. I think there should be single line space. So I tried, but I couldn't get it.
Okay, you mean like a single line here? There
Yes,
should not
single
be.
line
Okay.
spacing. The
No, no, no,
distance
no,
between
no.
the two
Okay, okay,
lines.
okay, 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 okay. I understand what you mean. Okay, so
Mm,
you're using a paragraph, right? So that's how paragraph work. But don't worry, we're going to. That's why I said that when we get to CSS, that's the work of CSS to be able to, if you want to join them together, if you want to reduce the size, if you want to put them in the center, if you want to do all of that, it's what the work of CSS. Okay, here just to put it on the screen for HTML.
okay,
So don't worry about that. Don't worry
okay.
about that. We're going to, yeah. Of course, when you're building like this one, you see the one I've just shown you here. It looks a bit different.
Yes,
Okay, even
yeah.
the font you can see because I've added
And
some
the font
CSS.
changes. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but let me remove the CSS and see what it looks like. So I'm just going to remove. I'm just going to comment out this tile here. Save it, and then I go back, and then this is it. You see? So it looks like
Yeah,
your own now.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's how it works. Yeah, this is just basically putting the thing on the HTML and this image of
Okay.
that, and then you can see the image is one on this side and left, everything's on the left. But then when I just as soon as I just uh, put back the CSS and I go back, it looks like this.
Interesting.
Yes. So we're going to get to CSS. That's when you now begin to build anything you can imagine. Really, that's when you can then you have the skill to be able to it. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Uh, yeah. Just a moment, please. I need to something. It. All right. So for today, can you hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So for today, we're going to take a deeper look at forms. Okay, because forms are very, very important. Very, very important. So it's important that we, learn more about them. Okay, so let's do that right away. So I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, maybe let me just do something first. Okay, no worries. I'm just share my screen. All right. Um, okay, maybe I should just share the entire screen. Contact. Oh, so I'm just share the entire screen. All right, so can you see my screen once more?
Yes.
Okay, so like I said, today we're going to take a deeper look at forms. So I'll just create a file here and call it more forms. Okay, so the same thing we have been doing. So like I said, now, if you're still not used to this, then it means that you need more work. You need to do more work. So let's do 9 and yeah. Then the next thing, do the head, do the title here for a start. Okay, forms, just say more forms. And then body. Okay. So when we talk of forms, form can be used to collect data from the user. Okay, it can be used a lot of things for also the user to submit some information, and basically all the major interaction you have with your phone has to do with forms. Okay, even something like going to your WhatsApp. Let's say you want to do a WhatsApp status, you want to post a WhatsApp status, so you can select a background color for the text you want to type. Yeah, do you understand that? Yeah, your background color, your WhatsApp status, and then you choose a color, and then you press on the button. There's a button there you press, then to change the color, and you'll see the different background color. Okay, so it's also part of the form, okay, of where you have to select a color, from several colors, okay, from a list of colors. Okay, so let's look at the first thing we're going to take a look at is search form. Okay, so let's say we want to add a search for a search input, or we also call it form control. Okay, so we call it form control. So basically, want something like you have an example is what you have in Google, right? Where you go to Google to search, all right, something like this. So we want to add a form like this. All right, this is a form. So how do you add such form? It's just similar to what we have been doing so far. So just first of all, you start with a form. And of course, I said we're not making use of this for now, so I also always clean it to remove it. So form, and we're going to put each of the form control in a paragraph, just to build it, to make it have a space between. So basically, to put, remember when you showed the assignment, Benjamin, you say that you had that space, you had like a double space because of a paragraph, okay, and maybe any block level element will also be able to give you that. But we're going to use a paragraph to house our input form, okay, form control. So first of all, do a label. I can just say search. Okay. So inside this label, we have the input field. Okay. And this type is search. So can give it a name. Like I always advise, we should give it a name as well. So I can just call it search, doesn't matter. This point, then close that. So here we have a search field. And then again, I'm going to do a button. Okay, maybe let me just do the button first so you have an idea of why we are doing this. So we'll just do button. We'll just call it find. Okay, I'm just going to do the type here and call it submit. Okay, so putting this type here is just to help the browser to, for browser optimization, really, to see that this particular button is for submission. The purpose of this to submit the form. Okay, but of course, if you have a button here, the purpose by default is generally to submit the form. Okay, once you click on the button. So let's see what it looks like for now. I'm gonna go to preview, and I have that search there. I have the field. So now you may ask, why do we have to use? Obviously, we can use the test input as well. So if I change this to, let's say change this to, no, not that one. Type test. We have that. Okay. And nothing seems to change. Okay, so it's like almost the same thing. So, but why do we have to use a test? Okay, a search instead of test. Now they work in a similar way, but sometimes when you open your application on a different platform, like a Mac, yes, like a Mac, there's a stylistic kind of consistency you want your app to have. All right, so there's different platforms. Some platforms have a way of displaying a search feed different from a test feed. Okay, so you don't want somebody who's using that, who's using such platform, right, or such operating system to be confused, because maybe it's used to having a search feed looking in a certain way. Okay, maybe next time I'm going to use a Mac to but this time it's just this Windows I'm using now. That would have shown you that when you have a search and put search here, for Mac is a bit different. Okay, so if you've been using a MacBook, see that it's going to look a little bit different. So we want to when we are building an application, we want to ensure consistency. Okay, so that the way the browser displays it in a particular platform does not change. Okay, it's consistent with other apps that is on the platform. Okay, that's why we want to always put this. Another thing too is also, which is very, very important. The reason why we have to use this for search, if we want to use search, is that, like I always mention about assistive devices. Okay, I always mention about like screen readers. When you're developing your application, you have to take care of everyone. So yeah, like I said, there are people who are visually impaired. Okay, they have visual problems. So they want the screen reader to read out the page to them. Okay, so the screen reader should be able to somehow emphasize that this form control is for search. Okay, and not just for you to write your name or put password. All right, so that's why it's important for us always have to do this. Now, but visually, like in this case, it does not really change. Okay, it does not make any difference, much difference visually. But for those devices, okay, it's very, very important that you indicate the exact purpose of your HTML element that you put on the page. Okay, that is the search. All right, so this is how you do a search form. So let's look at another one. So the first thing I'm going to do is to draw a line. Okay, so I'm sure you are also used to this line by now. Should be used to this line. So any question on this for now before we move on? If you have any question. Okay, so let's move on to the next. Okay, so here we're going to introduce something again here. You can see this is just a form on its own. You can do put search here, you can put find here, doesn't matter. So you can do search. Okay, so just a search button to put it. Of course, there's no CSS, so we're just looking this way. All right. So let's look at another one. So one thing you notice here that even if you're putting just one form control or two, right, you need to put in the form. Okay. So let's look at another example here. Here we're going to. Okay, what I want to do here is group a part, a particular form, a part of page of a HTML form or page. Okay, so sometimes you have different forms on the page, so you want this particular form to, you want to group them. Okay, so you don't just want, like, this is already a form here, but we want a form that has to do with something else, but on the same page, or maybe even on a different page. But you want to group them to really separate them. Like when the user sees it, so, okay, this form belongs to this, like is a particular, is this type of form, so the user won't get confused. So let's see how that is done. So we have a form, and so let's do the usual first. So here we're going to add some contact information, right? So we do, you can see now I'm typing almost exactly the same thing again. Okay, so we need to put email, for instance. Yeah, so email. So put input, type email. Okay, we did this one last time. And then we want to give it a name. Okay, I can just call it a name, user email. And then I think that's it. Okay, so we also want the user probably to provide maybe a web address. Okay, so do the same thing. Website, or let's just say LinkedIn. LinkedIn. Okay. So here, when you want to also restrict what the user is providing. So just when you say a website, you want to ensure that the user actually provides a website. Okay. So you use type H URL, name, website, or URL. Okay. And then the next thing, you may want the user to provide, remember this is contact information. So you may want the user to provide telephone number. Sorry, that's German. It's telephone number. Okay. So do telephone. I said the telephone number. The telephone number is that's how you say telephone number in German. Okay. All right. So yeah, and then you have the type to be tell. Name, doesn't matter. Mobile, you can call it mobile. And then let's just add a button. So why we're putting inside a paragraph, because we want to be on separate lines, right? With these spaces in between. Okay. So that's why I'm putting on there. So I'm going to put a button here. Again, this button, you want to tell the browser that once this button is clicked, the purpose of clicking this button is to submit what is in the form. Okay, so you put the type submit, and let's say create. Probably you want to create a user. All right. So let's see what's going on here. So you can see this is a contact information, right? But looking at it, it's just like on its own. So we want a situation where we're able to group this contact information that a user can see that. Okay, let me just say send. A user can see that, okay, this is this part of the form, or this form is specifically meant for contact info. Okay, so to do that, we use what we call feed set. So I'm going to add a feed set here. So I just need to put it in a feed set. Of course, as I put that, the other one automatically shows up. So you put everything inside a feed set. Okay, let's see what that looks like. So I'm going, not a feed, but a feed set. Okay, so I need to put set here like this. You see, you can see a line over everything. So it has, so we're grouping them. Okay, but again, it doesn't really make much sense if you just group them in a box. Okay, you want to give it a title. You want to give this group of forms a title, because this group of form element, they belong together. Okay, so make it easier for user to see that, okay, this form element belongs together. Okay, I want to give it, so apart from the feed set, actually draw this box and put them in the box. The next thing you want to put, whenever you use a fixed set, make sure to use a legend. Okay, a legend, and put like contact information. All right, so see how we're able to do this. So group the elements. Okay, yeah, so yeah, let's keep moving. Let's look at the next one. So what I want to take note of, if you want to group a particular form control or a particular part of the page, it's all a particular part of the page, can you always use this. It doesn't necessarily have to be just forms. Okay, but we use a lot for, mostly for forms when you're filling a form. Okay, for instance, now when you fill a form, that form, some form, they say, okay, for office use or office only, something like that. You can see that you can put all this kind of thing here. For instance, if you want this form to be filled by maybe by staff, okay, you can say office only, something like that. Okay, so just group that this particular part of the form, it belongs together, and you have we treat them. Okay, so that's contact information. Let's look at it in a different one again. So let's say you want to provide a way for users to book. Let's say you are a consultant and you want people to book an appointment with you, and you want to provide a way for them to book appointments. Okay, so we want to provide this draw a line again, and you want to provide user with the ability to select date and time. Okay, so let's say you want people to book appointments. So again, we're going to follow similar, because this particular form, I want to be able to use the form to book an appointment. So here we can just go straight and put the feed set, because we need it. Okay, we want everything to be inside the form. And once we have this feed set, we want to put a legend so that we can give it a title. Okay, so put a legend and then give it a title, appointment. Okay, so let's call it appointment date and time. Okay, so again, it's a form. Okay, so how do you create such form? You can create a form like this, or maybe appointment date, time, appointment request, doesn't matter. So you can simply, let's just do this for now. Let's see. Okay, maybe if we are putting date at time, probably there's no need to. Okay, let us see how it goes. I'm just put date and time. Let's see. Again, no data time. Okay, we'll miss the level. So let's put the level. So first level. So you can see the whole thing is just like repetition. So that's why once you know this, you're good to go. Okay, so here the type is going to be date, time, local. So because typically you want, if a user is setting up time, to somebody setting up time to meet you. If the person is in Germany, the person should set the time that's in Germany. If the person travel to Nigeria, for instance, the person should set Nigerian time. So that's why we want to put a type to be date time local. So anywhere you open the application, it will be what will show there will be the time in that country or the time zone. Okay, so here you can put you can click on this and book a particular date. Okay, let's say you want to book a date 20th of December at 10 a.m. Okay, let's just do 10 a.m. or 00. Yeah, we have 00. Okay, so have it here 10 a.m. Okay, so you have the time and date for the appointment. Okay, so I mean, this is just a way. So we can also, instead of, okay, I'm just going to copy this. Instead of doing this way, we can actually put them on different lines. Okay, so I can say this appointment, this is just for date. So in that case, I just put date here. And then similarly, we just do for time. Okay. So I can just put a space here, space there. All right. So yeah, so this is a quick one, which you can also see the difference now. This one, yeah, you just select the date. Okay, and then okay, and then time, okay, for the appointment. Of course, we need to have, once you book an appointment, you need to submit the appointment, right? So you just want to book an appointment, select, and then you don't submit. Okay, so in this case, we need to put a type, submit. Book, okay, which is obviously similar to what we have here. So we can just do that, copy that, put. So yeah, so you book the appointment. Okay, of course, when you click on it, nothing will happen because this is just HTML. So for something to happen, we need like something like JavaScript. Okay, which is something we're going to do like in 2 months' time, hopefully. So yeah, so that's it for this, for the appointment. Yeah, you can see the whole thing is quite similar. Okay, the whole thing is just quite similar. Okay, let's look at another one. Let's look at let's say you want to allow users to select or to add, to enter. Okay, let me just put it on board. Provide. Say you want users to enter numbers. Okay, so what you want the user to enter a number. Okay, so it's a form, of course. So we just do the same thing. Double again, remove this part that's given to us for free. And you can say something like maybe build an application for that is used for maybe some business buying and selling of something. I don't know. So you just put input to allow user to use number, okay, and name. You can also say quantity. So here, I don't know, my screen is not. So let me just move it to the top, probably. Or should I open this new browser? So it's no longer visible because my screen is quite small. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it to the top here so we can see it. So yeah, so we need to draw a line so that we have to, so I can separate both of them. Okay, so this is for the quantity. So once you put this type to be number, all right, so it doesn't even allow you to enter any other characters apart from numbers. Okay, so you don't want to users to mistakenly enter something instead of quantity, the right quantity. So this one does not allow you at all. Okay, just like the one we have for this let's say something. Okay, so let's say you enter something and you say please enter a URL. So it gives you that. This is the one for the website, the LinkedIn. Okay, because we put type URL, so immediately tells you that this is what you like. And of course, this is just like a very general message. It's not. So if I type something again, like, okay, this is my URL, I try to submit the form, it tells me, oh, please enter URL. Okay, so if you wanted to give like maybe a customized message, or obviously that's what you want to do anyway. So instead of just saying please enter URL, what is URL? Okay, so sometimes you just say, okay, URL. Okay, it's clear, but you want to make it even more clear, you can put the title here and put the test you entered doesn't look like a web address. Okay, so you can even write your own message. So let's type in something again and then put enter. Oh, okay. All right, so you can see by just putting like a tooltip, just putting your browser tooltip, the text you enter does not look like a web address. Okay, so that's also a way to, if you want to add that functionality to it. Okay, because mainly put it when you read the title, it just gives you that. Okay, but anyway, we are on quantity, which is this one. So where you want to enter a number. Okay, so once you have that, and then automatically you have these to even increase the number as you want. Okay, so how about something like a progress bar? Okay, or maybe like a volume even, or a range. So let's look at that example. Let's say allow, let's say something like a volume kind of thing, or range, call it range, but usually call it type range anyway. So in this case, it's a form, so I got just one thing in the form. So form, again, label. So here I'm going to call the label volume or progress. It doesn't matter, that progress or volume, doesn't matter what I call it. So type range. Meaning maybe 0 makes sense, like because I've given it a name to be maximum, and then so you can see what it looks like. So this is it. All right, so I'm sure you've seen something like this. This is like what you use in your, so if you want to increase the your phone, okay, so if you want to adjust the brightness of your phone, right? So these are the kind of thing you use to, right? Or you want to increase the volume of player or something, so on the page. So it's just this. Now I've indicated maximum, maximum, minimum. So you can also have like a step if you want. It's optional. You can do a step of 2. All right. So each time you increase it, you go move by 2 points. Each time you increase it, move by 2 points. All right. But this one, just the step is, yeah. Of course, for volume, I think it makes sense to do 0.5 instead of 2. All right. So yeah. So you can then each time you increase, go that. But of course, we're not seeing the values yet because it's JavaScript that will help us to do some of these things, make it look a bit functional. But yeah, this is just how you add this kind of thing here. Okay. So let's take a look at another one. We've done volume, done. Okay, so how about colors? So far, any question? I mean, I've just been talking. Any question? Are you understanding?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
Let me see your code. Let me see your V's. I want to show you
Yes.
something on your VS code.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Look at number 15.
Line 15. Yeah.
Yes, line 15.
Okay.
You have a exclamation sign and this
This.
this
Yeah.
this.
So that's a
What's
comment. It's a comment. So the comment is just to describe what the code is doing. So when you run it, the computer ignores it. For instance, when you're writing code, because some of the things as you're learning these things, you may not really, if you write and you maybe you open it later in 2 months time, 3 months time, you have forgotten what it is. So you can write explanation of what you're trying to do in a comment.
So is it compulsory that we must write it?
No, it's not compulsory. It's not compulsory. But I'm just making a note because I'll give you guys access to all these things we have been doing so that when you're reading it or when you're going through the code, you know what it's about.
Okay.
Yeah, but generally when you're writing code, okay, even your Python teacher will tell you even more about, because it's different for different language. In Python is this something like this, and then you type whatever as your comment. Okay? But in HTML, it's a bit more complicated. It's this one and then this. So anything you put in between these two things, okay, is a comment. So the computer, the browser simply ignores it. Okay, it's for your own notes, for your own for your own benefit, really, and also the benefit of anyone that want to take a look at your code. So generally, when you're writing code, it's something we're going to also learn. We want to write code, any code that you think that is not very clear, like just somebody cannot just get it by just looking at it. You need to add some explanation, which is just in the comment. But of course, the computer will ignore it. But it's for the other person that is going to take a look at it, because any code you write is going to be taken. So most of the code we see, even when you get a job, you're going to see code that is written by other people. All right, and some implementation can be a bit confusing. So usually the person may just have to put a comment. Okay, because you'll not go and look for the person to ask the person to explain, or sometimes it will take you some time. If without a comment, it may take you some time to, understand a piece of code. Okay, but if you put a comment, oh, this is what the person is trying to do. Okay, and also somebody that just looking at it don't say you want to use that to enter numbers. This is what you do. Okay, put this number. So you can add as a note for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So any other question before we move to the next one, which is so we want to allow users to select colors, which is something we do, so when you want to, good example, an example is when you changing your, for example, if you look at my laptop, say the theme is dark. Okay, so I'm using a dark theme on my laptop, and I'm using a dark theme on my Visual Studio. So basically, this Visual Studio, we can actually, it doesn't have to look like this. Okay, so let me, for instance, so I can just go to here and go to settings. Settings, is that setting? Okay, preferences, theme, color theme. Okay, so I do color theme. I can actually change my Visual Studio to look right. So this is white. All right, just yeah. So I can actually change it to look anyhow. Change the background color. Okay, and also the font color. So we also have that, and that's the example I gave earlier, that when you want to write a status, or WhatsApp status, for instance, there is a provision for you to change the background of the status, okay, like the background color before you type in, or even after you type, you can change to blue, you can change to brown. All right, do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can change the brand. So that is one of the, and also you have also called color hue in there. I think it's also when you want to add a picture, there's a provision called color hue. We're going to learn about color hue in CSS. Okay, so yeah, so you also want to do that, allow users to be able to change. You created something like this. Okay, a user may not like the way this thing look. He wants the background to be brand, for instance. Okay, so let us say I'll put these colors. Okay, so how you do that? You put a form. As you can see, everything is just the same again. Okay, I'm gonna put it here. Level. Oh, where is it? Okay, this one. So here we want to put background. Let us say background color, for instance. I put input. Now this type is color. And name here, I'm just going to put BG for background color. So you can see now, if I click on it, it gives me this color that I can select. You know, I can select all of that. I can select the color I want. This is what's called a color hue. Okay, if you have anything like this, you see something like this combination of colors, like in a thin line like this, called a color hue. I can always change it. Okay. So that's what this gives you. But of course, when I change it here, it's not nothing going to happen unless I write a small JavaScript to make that happen. Okay, and it's something I can write quickly. Okay, let's just you just need to watch. You don't need to understand. Let me just quickly write some very short JavaScript here. Okay, so I think I will just write it. Since I'm here, I will just write in the head. Okay, since I'm here, I'll just write here. So I don't do script. But usually in the body, I will write a JavaScript anyway. So I just want to take a look at this. Okay, yeah, this will help me to also explain classes again and attributes. Okay, so I want to make use of this, like when I select this. All right, when I select, okay, let's just start with, let's put a form button. Let's put a button since we've been dealing with button as well. So let us put a button, type, submit, and then also change. Okay, so this change just basically to change the background, okay, of this page. So now in JavaScript, you need a way to, just like CSS, you need a way to reference the particular thing you are interested in on the page. Like where here I'm interested in this form. Okay, there are other forms here. Okay, so what can I do to differentiate this form? So when I'm asking JavaScript to go to this form and select the color, okay, it won't mistaken me for this or this other one. So one thing I can do is to uniquely identify a form. Okay, let me just put I'll put an ID. Okay, we've spoken about ID before. Okay, just to uniquely identify a form. So I can call it anything, but I'm going to just call it color. Okay, maybe just BG. Okay, color, doesn't matter, color. Okay, so I'm just going to call it color. And another thing I want to also do here is, okay, so I'll make it of this name. So that is okay, and then I have this submit button. Okay, so now, I'm going to just do some JavaScript now. So the first thing I'm going to tell JavaScript, you don't need to understand everything now because we're not doing JavaScript. JavaScript is going to come back in 2 months' time. So the first thing you want to do is that you want to tell your browser to go and get the form. So to get this. Okay, so I'll do const bg color is equal to document dot get elements by name. Okay, so get element by name. So what's the name of this? So I want you to get, okay, maybe let me get the color first, and then let's get the form first. Okay, maybe let me just, there are a couple of ways to do this. Okay, let me just do the form first. Form, I'll do form. Okay, this particular form is the one that has the ID document.get element by ID. So you can see the get element by ID. What's the ID? The ID is a color. Okay, get element by ID. Okay, let me just do that. Like I said, this can be done in different ways. Okay, but let's just follow this one. So let's get the form. This is the form. Okay, and then I want to listen to the form. I want to know when the form is submitted, like when you click on this. Okay, change. Okay, so how do I do that? I'll do form. Here is the form now in my Java. This thing you're seeing here is equivalent to this whole of this form. Okay, I can give it any name, right? It doesn't matter. Okay, color. Let me just give it like color form. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I'll now say color form dot. There's something called event listener. Event listener is listening to when you interact with the page. Okay, so I want to listen to when a user interact with this form. So whenever a user interacts form, but there are many things you can listen for. In this case, I want to listen for the submit when the user try to submit the form. So I'll do submit here. And then again, just ignore this for now. I don't want to confuse guys. Okay, so this is basically what I want to write now. Whenever the user submit the form, anything I write here should happen. That's what I mean here. That's what this is gonna be. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is what called prevent default. Okay, again, don't worry too much about that for now. The default basically, prevent default. Now, when you click a button, by default, it tries to change to a different page or trying to refresh the page and all of that. But you want to prevent that default behavior. Okay, so I'm listening for submits. Like whenever the submit button in the form is clicked, I want something to happen. So the first thing I want to happen is I want to get the element by name. You see, get element by name. What is the name of the element here? Now, the name is big. That's why I said that I need to always put the name so that you can make it of it. So the name is BIG. Okay, BG, sorry, it's a hedge. Okay, so get element by name. Now, the JavaScript assumes that you can have different elements can have the same name, which is possible, of course, from what we did in our previous class where we're looking at I think we're looking at radio, like when you select a gender, male, female, they have the same name. Okay, so JavaScript always assume that element will have the same name. So so it's going to provide a list, and here I'm just going to collect the first one on the list. Of course, we have only one name with PG, but it will assume that it's more than one element. So it's going to provide a list for you. So I just want to take the first one, which is the only one anyways, which is 0. That's the position. Again, don't worry too much about what that means. Okay, so I just want to show you how this thing can work. Okay. So now this is representing this input. Okay, so what do I want to do with the input? Okay, I want to get the value. So the value is what when the user click on it and select something like this. That is the new value. New value is this color. Okay, so I want to get the value. Okay, so then I'll say const. Okay, maybe let me just select here color. There's background color. Okay, let me call it selected color equals bg color dot value. Okay, so that is the value that is being selected here. And then the next thing I want to do, which is the last thing I'm going to do now, is to change the background of the page to that color. Okay, and that's simple. So I'll say document dot body. The page, the whole of this is body, right? So body dot style. Okay, and then what background color. So once you start typing background color, okay, you're gonna see it there, and then I want to change it to the selected color. I think that is it. Let's see if it works. Okay, so I'm going to select the color now. Select that color and I press change. Oh, it does not work. Select change, no work. Okay, let's see why. This kind of thing happens. Okay, when you write something and then you realize that this thing does not happen as you expected. So we may have to now check. Okay, so a way of checking. Okay, I'm sorry, I have to take you guys to this JavaScript again. A way to check is to see what is, because sometimes you may write something like this and you may not know that what you intended is not what's happening. So the first thing I'm going to do is to check, okay, what exactly is the BG color? Okay, I think it's, let me just see if I can. Okay, I can't really do that here. What I would do instead is to run this using Go Live. Okay, open a browser. Where is it? More forms. Okay, so I'm just going to inspect. Okay, these are the things that are going to get used to. All right, so again, okay, say uncaught error. That is not add event listener. Okay, so you see, there's a mistake here. They said uncaught type error cannot read properties of no reading add event listener. Okay, so what is basically just telling me that there is nothing like this thing that I've said you should add event listener. Okay, there's nothing like this on the page. Document.get element by color. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think I have an idea what happened. So we need to move this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move it just below. I'll move it later anyway. So let's try again. Okay, it says no issues. All right, let's try again and see if that works. And I took change. Aha, that's it. Okay, say console.log. Okay, I need this thing does not. Okay, don't need that again. So you can see exactly what happens. So if I come here again, it's not working. Okay, let me change it to this color. I press change. Okay, it changes. Okay, and then I say, all right, let me change it to this color. I press change, it changes. And basically, what's making those things change actually is this piece of code here, JavaScript. So JavaScript is you can change things on the page, you can make things happen on the page and all that. But we're going to get there later on. Okay. So any question? Of course, I mean, I'll still leave the code here, but let me just take it to the bottom. And so in case you want to look at it, maybe now or in the future, you take a look at it. But the basic idea is that you can see just the thinking behind it. Like you want to change, like I said, computer programming is problem solving. So it's going to teach you how to approach a problem. And the steps, you have to take the right steps to be able to solve the problem. So first of all, what do I want to do? I want to be able to click on this and change this. Okay, it's black now. I want to be able to click on this and change to that color. Okay, now I've not selected the color here, so let's click and change. Okay, so the first thing is that, okay, you want to get the form, because the first thing is you're clicking on the form. Okay, so that's why I said, okay, let's get the form. Let's get the element that has the ID called what color, which in this case is our form. Okay, so there are many forms here, but it's going to concentrate on this one. So the next thing I've said here is that, okay, let's listen. Let's listen that like you are watching the form when there's going to be a click on the form. Okay, so that's why you have what we call the event listener. Okay, so we want to listen for a submit action. Okay, we want to know when the form is submitted. That's when the button that is attached to the form is clicked. That's the submit. Okay, once that is done, then we now begin to do our stuff. Okay, so once you click that, the first thing I have to do, I want to make sure that anything that they disturb us, we just prevent anything that's going to disturb or distract us or maybe disrupt our plan. Okay, well, don't worry, we're going to look at this. It's hard to explain at this point. Okay, prevent the default behavior. That's a default behavior that we don't want, so we just want to prevent that. And then so the next thing is that when I go to the element that has the name BG, which of the element is a color input here. Okay, so get to that element and then get the value that's been selected. Okay, so when we get this is the element itself, the next thing is to get the value, which is what the user has selected here. Okay, get that value. Once you get that value, then go to the body of the page and then change the background color to the selected value color. Okay, that's all by just clicking on this. Okay, So let's do that again. Do this and changes. All right. So any question? Okay, so maybe let's just look at the last one, which is a data list. Of course, the forms is actually is massive, right? When it comes to forms, there are a lot of things, but you can see that you now know how to add different things on the page. Okay, this one can be okay. Maybe this one also, you know, if you look at this now, right? You see you will notice that you can actually select a date in the past for appointment, which doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense for you to, book an appointment, or you want to book an appointment for a day that already gone, okay, in October. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's just go to that one and do something to it before we move on. Okay, this is the appointment. Okay, date. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, so we can add more things to here. First of all, we've not added name, so let's just call it date. So we can actually add more things. Can add a minimum. I think for the minimum, you can just do maybe the current date. Let's just not do the current date now because it's another JavaScript we have to do. But let's just make it look like, okay, today's date is 20. Okay, so they do for today's American. Let's see, we have to use it. 20. Okay, let's see how they did. Is it monthly? I think it's CA. And then probably month, then day. Okay, 20. No, 24. Okay, minimum, and then maximum. You can add a minimum, you can add a maximum. Maybe 2024. 1101. Okay, let's see how that works. Okay, and time as well, you can have a minimum. So you don't want somebody to book an appointment with you at 12 midnight or 1 a.m. So you want probably 10 a.m. and say 5 p.m. Is it? Let's see. I don't know. Is it this one? But I have to confirm. I'm not even sure. Yeah, now. But let's see. So if we do this, you can see now. Yeah, that's correct. So you can see it doesn't allow us to select any other dates before the 23rd. Okay, that's before the day. And then also, let's see if we can select a date after the 1st of January. Okay, it looks like we can select a date before. Okay, yeah, because this is this is November. So we want to do after 11th of January, for instance. Okay, so let's see. So of course, we can select it for today, and then of course after 11th of January also we can select any date. Okay, so this is basically how you want to do it, because you don't want to just put date, even date of birth. For instance, if you have somewhere you're looking for people between the ages of 16 to maybe the age of 18 or 20 to no, sorry, 16 to 20 years. Okay, so you don't have to, you shouldn't, people that are older than that, you should not be able to, you don't want to allow them to, you shouldn't allow them to, select date. Okay, so you can also do that with date of birth. Okay, let's look at the time and see if we got it right. It looks like, let's see, it looks like we didn't. Okay, let's just see first. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like that's not it. Let me just change this to that. Okay, so okay, let's see. Let's put dots here. Put the dots here. Try again. Okay, maybe this one I have to check to be It's still picking. But yeah, something is wrong there. Not sure yet. But yeah, but it's still minimum maximum. Okay, but I have to check later to see exactly how to do that. Okay, but you can see that it's working for the date. Okay, it's working for the date. And so you disable other dates and then allow this other date. Okay, so I don't know what half time, but let's quickly do the last one. Okay, so let's do the last one. Items, inputs, type, data, lists. Okay. Okay, maybe this one I'll just provide it with because we don't have much time now. I have to provide it, but what I want to do here is to give you the something that looks like this Google kind of thing where you can type and you also have suggestions. Okay, so it's called data list. So something like this, where you type, you allows you to type in and also give you suggestions like this. Okay, so it's called data list. So you can do that. There's also another one which is called select. Drop down select. Okay, that's another one which is quite different from a bit different from this. But this is called data list, where you can type in and then you also have options to select. But for drop down select, you don't have option. You just select what is in the list. For instance, I say location. You have 3 locations: London, Vienna, Lagos. Okay, so those 3 locations you don't have. You can't select any other thing about those 3 locations. So you can use select, drop down, select. Okay, so that is it for today. I don't know if you have any question. Just play around with this again and change color. All right. All right. So that's it for forms, and that will be the end of forms for us. But I'll try and provide the other 2 in the notes. Okay. So next time we're going to take a look at GitHub. Okay, we're going to look at GitHub, how you're going to submit like the assignments, how you're going to submit the assignments. Okay. So I don't know if the assignment is still here. Okay, yeah, so this is the assignment, right? So just a portfolio. Okay, I've explained how it's going to be, and I'm going to provide the code, but the submission is going to be on GitHub. Okay, so we're going to learn how to use the command line. Okay, we need to be familiar with command line. Okay, so we need to import. We're going to install. Make sure you have a laptop. We're going to install this git bash. Okay, so the git bash. Yeah, of course, Windows have Windows do have, so just type this button just to download if you're using Windows, or if you're using Mac, it's going to be the same download. So yeah, but Windows has a default command line. Okay, but we don't use it much. I mean, like people who like to use it, right? But I'm not one of those. Okay, this is because now a lot of the things are different. A lot of the command I'm used to using. I was using Mac for a long time, MacBook for a long time. So I was used to using Unix system and the Unify system. I was used to Unify system, the operating system. Okay, so and for instance, if we want to show directory in different command, like ls is for to show directory, and that's why I start to install Ubuntu for me to be able to use things like this. So I can do ls and it gives me what I need. Okay, but it's the one that comes with Windows default. Okay, you have to do dir. The commands are different, and working on some application can be very, very tedious to set up and all of that. So the tool is at the point you're going to install what we call Windows WSL, Windows Sublinear Subsystem for Linux, which is what I'm using. I use all the time. But for a start, I think we're just going to use this. Okay, we're just going to use cheat bash, and this bash will give us what we want. Okay, if when you want to open your Visual Studio Code, you have to open it from there. Going forward, once we learn how to use the command line, see that we can open Visual Studio from here. Okay. All right. So again, we're going to take a look at GitHub and Git, and then the command line. Yeah. So you're going to create your profile and submit your code here. And why you want to submit our code here also is that once you build your application, you'll be able to, they're going to generate a web address like this so that anybody, you can open it on your phone, you can open it, anybody can open it and see what you've built. Okay, that's where we're going. Okay, so that's why we need to learn how to use GitHub, which you've already started, I believe, or probably maybe you start on Sunday with Python. So for those that have started that doing Python, you're going to do this twice. So it's going to give you better opportunity to understand this. Okay. All right. So do you have any question?
Yes, I have a question. Let me show you something.
Okay. Do you want to
Just
share your screen?
yes, I will share my screen.
Okay, please.
I'm coming. Okay. Let me. Where is this? Okay. Just a minute, please.
Yeah.
I'm coming, please.
No problem.
Okay. Okay, confirm you can see.
No, I can't see it yet. Okay, I think it's coming up.
Okay, so this is my GitHub. My
Okay.
Git.
Okay, you already have okay, that's good.
Yes, I
Is
think
it
it's
based on the
quite.
class? Is it based on the Python class?
No, even before the Python class,
Okay, that's fantastic. That's
so
fantastic.
I created it some
Mm.
time ago. So how to navigate it now is what that's where the issue is.
Okay, okay. So you have your
I just created it and kept me some time ago, a long time ago.
okay. Okay. What is here? Cool spaces. Can you click on your profile on the top right? That's it's
So,
top right. Yeah, that click there. Let me see. What is there? Okay. 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 Don't worry. Don't worry. We're going to when we go through. Yeah, and of course in your Python class, I'm sure you already started it as well. We'll,
yes.
we'll show you how exactly. But what I'm seeing here, yeah, you're opening cool spaces. It also shows something like a dashboard.
Okay, dashboard. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe you can click on the menu button on the top left. Let's see.
That's this one now.
Yeah, click on it. Let's see.
So if I click
See
here,
home. Go home. Yeah. Is that the home? Click on
yes,
dashboard. Let's see. Click on dashboard. Let's see. Okay, yeah,
okay,
that's good. Okay, yeah, this is what I was looking for actually.
yes, this is the place we.
Yeah.
So where I said make it private for the meantime. Then
Okay.
this is
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Yeah. 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 So don't worry. You're going to learn all of this and complete the tool we use it every time. That's where it's going to be like a place where you store all your things. If you work, everything is just going to be all your code is going to be here. So you can view it in 100 years time. You can view it anytime. You don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah. So it should be fine. All right.
Then remaining this arts, this
Mm.
copyright symbol.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So like I said, I'm going to share. Okay. Maybe let's just. Okay. Maybe just watch as I share the. Let's see. Okay. I'm just. Sorry. Share screen. Okay, I'll just share my entire screen. Okay, so let me attempt. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's coming up. Yes, I can
Okay,
see it.
so I'm going to do a couple of things here.
Is this one the VS Code environment?
No, this is a terminal for Linux. So it's something like we are going to use it later in the future, but we're going to use this one first.
Okay.
The Git bash. So from this thing, we're going to learn how to do these commands that I'm doing here. So so I'm just checking what's inside and creating a folder. Just make a folder. Projects. Okay, so I've made a project, a poster. I'm going to just move the from so all the things you used to do, like with your browser, with your, like when you go here, you create a new, for instance, let's say you come here and do left, or is it new folder, all of that. So these are the things I'm just doing now, okay? And then create a new folder, move something inside. Like what I want to move now, I want to move something here into a new folder. Okay, I'll do all of that here. So that's what I've done now. So I want to move the file, which is portfolio.html assignment, into the new folder that I've just created. Okay, so I can now go to the new folder, then it is there. Okay, so I want to create a Git repository for this. So there are a couple of ways I can do that. So I think I'll just go to my Git hub. This plus here, create new repository, sir. Okay. Just call it Python. No, sorry, I say Python. HTML project. Okay. So of course the name. So it's already, I mean, it's okay public because I want people to be able to access it. So I'm just going to create a repository. So created, and so it gives me some instructions, which I'm just going to follow. I'm just going to follow the instruction. Okay. So I just keep this side by side.
This window with here, is it a bond break background? What is it?
The one I'm tapping on, this one.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just choose it's like this other thing that you can change the color. I just choose that color. So it's like, it's this thing here. You have, if you go to your window and type command line, like CMD, you're going to see it. Okay.
Okay, CMD. Okay.
Yeah, it's a command prompt. Okay. So it's similar, but this is just a different one. This is a terminal there as well. So I'm just going to do that.
So I can use the CMD to do.
Yeah, use the CMD, but we're not going to use it much. We're going to download a different one. You can start even downloading it. You download Git bash. Okay, if you just, like I mentioned, if you just go and type Git bash, you download it, and that one will be what you will use. Okay. But for now, I want to quickly do this. Okay, so I believe I've opened the. Yeah. Okay, that's it. So yeah, so I can put a readme. I'll just echo the code there. Yeah, so the instruction is just given to you. So HTML, it's just like a title. Okay, HTML project. And then inside the title, I want to create a file called, basically, I want to create a file called readme, which will describe what the project is about. And then inside the readme, I'm putting this text inside. Okay, so I can actually even change it to something and say first HTML projects for beginners. Okay, so that's what I've just done. So I've created, because, okay, let's do. Yeah, so this file has been created because if I go now, if I do ls now, I can see the file is there. But inside the file, this test also has been written there. So the next thing I'm going to do is to do git init. Okay, so I'm not following this instruction here. So I'll do git init, initialize git add. So we're going to explain these things later on. Okay, what exactly they mean, what they mean. So, and then git commit, it's a message. So instead of saying first commit, I'll just say dead sign. Just to describe what you're doing. So assignment. I'm also going to follow. Okay, so what's this? Is it telling me git in what initial comment on track files? Okay, so no problem. Clear. So git. Okay, that's on that first. So I want to add this. Then the assignment, the two files. Okay, so I'll do git branch. So normally they used to have a different name called master, but I'm going to just change it to branch. That's what this to main, sorry. And don't worry too much about it. And then the next thing is to basically just do this G2 root and copy the whole of that. So I'm gonna copy this line. Okay, so here now copying this line, I want to link this to the project you have. That is really you're linking what you have on your laptop to what you have on the page. Good. And the next thing is to do git push. Don't worry, you get used to all of this origin because you do it every single day. Okay, follow these steps, or maybe it's 2 steps. Yeah. Push origin. In my case, it asks me for a pass username. Okay, what's my username again? There's a one password. It's gonna be a problem. Okay, so I need to just quickly. I'm not sure if I have a password right now, but let me just see. Okay, let me check if my password has not expired. So to do that, I'll go to settings. And go to developer settings. Oh, I don't have, okay, personal tokens, token classic. So I have one expired. Okay, they have all expired. Okay, so of course, I don't want you guys to see my password. I want to create a new one and then I'll get back. Okay. Create new one. So I'm just quickly generate a new password, new token. What's on called? Project. But a quick one. Okay, so let's get back to share again. Entire screen. Okay, can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so push. So yeah, so I set the password and everything. So now the thing is now on this page. So if I refresh this, it gives me, what is it? Okay, so yeah. So this is our HTML, and okay, you can see what I wrote before. I think I did not write this well. Let me just put it where. Oh, I don't know how to do this. What? It's not an MD. How do you do it? Anyway, let's just leave that for now. But you can see that this is what I put inside the HTML at that time. Okay, so but yeah, this is it. This is the portfolio, and then the question you are asking, if you go down, you're going to see how to put the copyright. Okay, like this, and sand, ampersand sand, then this, and then simple. Okay, so I'm going to drop this here on the page, so you can then go and access it, take the code, and build this stuff, and then yeah, so that's it. Later on, we're going to put it on GitHub pages. So we're going to put it on pages so that we can view it. Anybody can view it. Okay, you can say add domain or what's anyway. So that's it for today. Yep, this is it. So this is what you're going to see once you get the code. Okay, I'll just drop the code, the thing here. I'll just drop it here. So you can just copy it. I think I will drop it on the WhatsApp as well. Okay, I'll just drop it on the WhatsApp. Okay. All right.
So I'm there already. So
Okay, so can you access it?
yes.
Okay, that's
So
fine. Fantastic.
what will I'm clicking the portfolio.
Sorry?
Should I click the portfolio?
Yeah, just click over and copy the code, and then you can also git clone, but I mean, I don't know, since I have not taught you guys how to do that, but you can just do it and let's download it or copy it and then create your own file and continue with that. All right, so that's it. Any question? So yeah, yeah,
Is this on the assignment?
yeah, that's it.
So I have not yet understood. So what do we do with this code you just sent now?
You need to is it okay? Let me explain again. So you need to add your information. You're building your portfolio. Do you understand?
Okay.
And I'll give you a background of your, like this is like a sample portfolio build, which is a code you're seeing there. Okay, so like here now, it should be your picture, not this picture.
Okay.
Or maybe you can put another picture, but not this one. Okay, then you now write about yourself. Okay, then your skills, and then your work experience. The work experience is entirely empty here, but if you look at the way I've written the education, you see that it's very similar. So you can just take example from here. And then you do your contact. You know, we have learned about forms. We have learned about how to put a contact form. I've learned about this. So if you do all that and put there, you're going to see that. Okay. So, yeah, so that's just basically it. So you need to write something here. You need to write. You are creating your portfolio website, right? About yourself.
Okay. Okay.
That you can give to somebody and say, okay, you want to know more about me? Go to this website. And yeah, okay.
Yeah. I saw Meta. You didn't explain to us what's the meaning of Meta.
Okay. Okay. So isn't the yeah, I think I so the meta is just basically a way to add additional information to your page. Okay. So meta, just metadata, right? Let me see. You see, where is it on portfolio? Okay, move the portfolio. Is it where? Okay, meta.
Yes.
So just from additional information that the browser is going to use to display your thing correctly. So you can see viewport. We're going to learn more about it later on. So viewport, it just basically in the past, like let's say in the year 2008, 2007, long time ago, 2006. If you open even 2009 or 2010, if you open on a smartphone, if you open a web page on a smartphone, you know the text used to be very, very small. You have to like zoom in, you know, to be able to see what's inside. But these days, once you just open, you don't need to do all those zooming. You just adjust to this smaller screen. If you open to, so what makes that is this line? What makes that possible? This viewport. Just saying that viewport is a visible part of your screen. So if the screen is small, the text inside will try to adjust so that you don't have to start to zoom and do all of that. So the viewport, they said content is called a device minus width. All of that. Scale is 1.0. So it's just anything that you open the page. If you open a big screen, it should fit to some extent properly to the screen. If you open a smaller screen, it should fit. So it's just some additional information you're providing for the browser. And then this one too, there's what we call character encoding. Okay, so all those characters you see, character 8, 12, all these things you see on your they're actually basically just numbers or some kind of combination of numbers. Like when you press A or T or K, all this you press on your laptop on your keyboard, they're actually just numbers. Okay, so this is a kind of something that decodes them and decode and encode them so that the computer will understand and show it the way you see it on the screen. Okay, so we are just providing that so that if somebody, you know, eventually if the person is using if the person open your website in China, for instance, maybe the encoding there because of the alphabet, the way Chinese people like have their alphabet, you know, the encoding is different from this. So you want to make sure that the person sees what you expect the person to see. Okay, and we are going to learn more about a lot of this, but this is just a character set out. Make sure that the person is going to see what you expect the person to see. No, not that the person, because the person opened the thing in Germany, the website in Germany, and then begin to see some characters. Okay, or open in China, begin to see some characters, which is not supposed to be, you know, which is not what you expect the person to see. So, but don't worry too much about that for now. Just assume that it's not there. It's just for the browser to make use of and display the things correctly. Okay.
Okay, two last questions.
Yes, please.
When I used button and put a text in between them, it gave me what is being displayed here. And when you use label, the paragraph, label, the button, and you got this. So what's the difference? Because I use button and I got what you got.
Got
Is it
what?
that
Which one?
like this on your right?
This one.
Yes, the search button, the text in the box.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what do you say you use?
I use button.
Yeah, it's button now, isn't it?
But I'm still ahead. You said input type, change, and all those things. So I
Uh,
didn't put all those things, but
no,
I
no,
still
no.
got.
Yeah, because you put this change or you put search or whatever, put on. Okay, let's say look at it on the one on search. Okay, you put button type, and we did not put the things. We did not put the paragraph here because this paragraph already created a line as well. So, for instance, if I move this paragraph right at the top now, you see the thing appears here.
Okay.
So the paragraph, remember, the paragraph is a block level element. It creates that space, it creates that line, so that's why we're usually putting all this in the paragraph so that they will appear on their own line. I'm not trying to line. So that's it. So that's why we use block level element. It doesn't have to be paragraph, but most of the time we just sometimes we just use paragraph. Just preference in this case. Okay, you can use a div element. But as you keep on practicing this thing, you're going to get a whole lot. You can say we'll put them in paragraphs to just allow them to appear on different lines and have enough space in between.
Then the copyright symbol.
Yeah, it's already there. I've shown you. It's in your code there. If you have gotten access to the thing, it's on the bottom. You see it. The copyright symbol is just basically this. And just put a paragraph here. So the copyright symbol is basically this ampersand symbol, then type copy and put a semicolon. Okay. So you see that that's it.
I've seen it.
Then you can put the date 2024. Okay, so put your name, it doesn't matter. Okay. So that's it. So any other question before we go?
That page.
Which
the
page?
portfolio page, the previewed portfolio page.
Yeah.
I would like to have it. Can you?
No, but it's that you've gotten the code now. Just run the code. You see exactly the same thing. Yeah, that's what you have. You have it. Like if
you mean everything is there.
Well, that's it now. It's there. Just copy the code.
I'm thinking of starting from scratch. I'll use your own, but I still.
No, what I'm saying, what I mean is that the thing is there, right? Is the code. The code is this thing here. Yeah, is that's the code we have given to you here. What is it? The thing I created here. I will just repo, new one I just created here. And this repo is very important. Like it's used even if you want to like doing something else, you want to put some files into of saving things in your computer, you can just do things. It doesn't have the code, only code. Okay. So it's there, this portfolio. That's it. So just do this and then copy. Okay. So you can just copy everything and then paste.
Paste on my
yeah.
And begin to put my
But because that's where we are now. But generally, that's not what we used to do. But that's where we are now at the moment. Okay. But later on, we're going to learn how to do it properly. So either to download here. Okay. You can also do that. You can download it here. Just do download. Okay. Was it download zip? Or of course, I mean the right way is actually going to just do everything here. Download it through here. But we're going to learn that. Okay.
Wow. Thanks. In fact,
all right.
It's interesting. Thank you.
That's it. I mean, if you do the assignment, you will see between what you're going to learn in a very short time. I mean, it's going to be you'll be amazed. At least when it gets to this January now, you can now say all these things that people used to say at the end of this year. That this year is a year of something. You can now say that yes, because they are moving towards the target. Yeah. So it's gonna be. I like the way you're pushing and just keep pushing like that. That's what it is. All of us that you see that we are here, we're doing all this. That's how we push through.
It's difficulties. It's long. I had this drive. It's long, but how to go about it? That's the problem. So I will just say, God, how do I start? So I just started. I have gotten some resource, but there is difference between getting some resource materials and having a live class like this. Yes. Live class gives you,
because if you are doing the resources by yourself, sometimes you don't even know where to focus on.
Yes. You don't know.
So all right now. So
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
Thanks. Have a nice day. Good night.
Yeah. Thank you.